up.
And I hated Esau. Read that again. Malachi.
And note it in a book.
And note it in a book. Read on.
That it may before the time.
Fuck you up.
You gonna what?
To
I'm gonna
come
fuck you up.
forever and ever.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Scripture turn. Okay, got you. Read on.
Now go.
Read this shit.
Write it before them.
Write it before them. Read on.
In a table.
In a what?
In a table.
Write it table. In the table. Read on.
And note it.
He good. Don't worry about it.
And note it in a book.
He good. He good. Trust me. He's good. He's good. He said on the scripture turn. That's what he said. In the scripture turn. He good. He good. Read.
Now go. Write it in a book.
Keep reading.
Do your thing.
And note that it may before the time to come forever and ever.
Right, read.
That this is a rebellious people.
That this is a what?
This is a rebellious people.
That this is a what?
A rebellious
Hey,
people.
hold on. Give me a second.
I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Watch this. You do it. Go do what you gotta do, brother. I'm gonna show you something.
A real nigga, back up.
You better give up the ball.
Nigga, back up. Nigga, back up. Nigga, finna stand up. I'm finna stand the fuck up, nigga.
No.
I'm finna stand the fuck up.
Give me James 1:19.
Y'all ready to give the Bible?
Give me Isaiah. Matter of fact, stay on
what you saying.
Stay on Isaiah 30 and 8.
Record this shit. Fuck what you said. Record this shit. Fuck what you saying. I'm finna stand the fuck up. Nigga.
Isaiah 30 and 8.
What you wanna do?
Now go.
Ezekiel 2 and 2.
Hold on.
Read.
Write it before them.
Hold up.
Right.
In a table.
Read.
And note it in a book. That it may be for the time
Record
to
this shit.
come forever and ever.
Read.
Give me a video.
So what?
Fuck this
Is
nigga.
a
Fuck my
rebellious
motherfucker,
people.
really. The really nigga ever been found.
So what?
In Lee County.
They're rebellious people.
This is a rebellious people. Read on.
Lying
Original.
children.
A what?
Lying
A
children.
what?
Thoroughbred.
Lying children. Read on.
Children that will not hear the law
Children that will not hear the law.
of the Lord.
Right? They won't hear the law of the Lord. Read on.
That's the
Say
way.
to the seed,
Read on.
see not,
See not. Read on.
and to the prophet,
And to the prophets. Read on.
prophesy not.
Prophesy now. Give me. Hold on. Read what you got, man.
No,
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 2. Right, read. And the spirit entered into me. The spirit entered into me. Read on. We gonna stay above like a lion. Read. Keep reading. Read.
And set me upon my feet.
Read.
And I heard him.
And I heard him read.
That speak. And I heard him.
Speak unto me. Read.
And he said unto me,
Read.
Son of man,
Son of man, read.
I said thee, to the children of
He
Israel,
sent us to the children of Israel. Read on.
to a rebellious
To
nation.
a what?
To a rebellious
To
nation.
a what?
To a rebellious nation.
He sent us to the children of Israel, who are to a rebellious nation. Read.
That have rebelled against me.
That rebelled against him. Read on.
They and their fathers have transgressed against me.
You transgress against the Lord. You transgressing against us. We gonna deal with it.
Y'all get off the pictures right now. Stop
Give me
stepping on
Ezekiel
it.
3 and 7.
Stop
Give me Psalms
stepping on
3
the
and 2.
picture.
Go, drop that. Give me Psalms 3 and 2.
Don't step on the
See,
picture.
let me explain something to you. Let me explain
Don't
something to you.
step on it.
A
Don't
lot of
step
y'all
on
got
it.
it jacked up, dog.
Why
Y'all
y'all
got
got
it
that white
jacked
man
up,
around?
dog. Where y'all think we from the
man
suburbs, bro? Do you think I'm from the suburbs?
Put the camera right
If you
here.
want to do that, let's
Why
do
you
it.
stepping on the picture?
Right? Give me what
Don't
you got.
step
Read.
on
The
it.
book of Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17.
Read.
Son of man,
Son of man, read.
I have made thee a
He
watchman.
made us a what?
A watchman.
He made us a what?
A watchman.
A watchman ain't scared. Read on.
Unto the house of
To
Israel.
the house of Israel. Read on.
Therefore hear the word of my mouth.
Read.
And give them warning
Give them
from
what?
me.
And give them what?
And give them warning from
And
me.
give them warning from me. That's
You
what we
telling
doing.
me
Read
you
on.
ain't Harry
When I
now?
say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely
Thou
die.
shalt surely die. Read.
That was 10,000.
And thou givest him that warning.
That don't even know
Not
they
wicked,
stepping on
to
it.
warn the wicked
Right,
from
read.
his wicked way.
Right, read.
To save his life. He said, wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
You stepping on the wrong picture.
Give me
and you telling
Psalms 3
everybody
and
else.
2. Psalms 3 and 2.
Shalom Israel, all praises to Yahshua HaMashiach. Truly his mercy endures forever. As you already know, we are your servants from the light of Zion. We are your humble servants from the light of Zion. Your school is located on 2937 West Broward Boulevard. Currently, we have two other schools. One is in the Treasure Coast and another one is in Lehigh Acres. We are your servants. We are here to serve you. We are here to rightly dividing the word of truth to you. Colossians 3:17, officer.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17.
Read.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
So, the comment that we have is that everything that we are doing, it must be done in Hamashiach for the Most High. As you can see, the title for the class today is Adwan, or Lord, to whom shall we go? To whom shall we? We, capital W, and capital E. We. The we represents us, Israelites. To whom shall we go? Let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 16. Let's see what happened in Numbers. Numbers chapter 16, verse 1. Numbers 16, verse 1. We left Egypt. At that time, we were in the wilderness. Let's see what happened. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 1. Read.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 1.
Read.
Now Korah,
Yep.
the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi,
Yep.
and Dothan, and Abiram,
Yep.
the son of Eliab, and on the son of Pelat,
Yep.
the sons of Reuben,
Yep.
took men.
Now these were not regular men. These were princes among the among Israel. These were men of renown, men of stature, men that the people looked up to. Read.
And they rose up before Moses,
Yep.
with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes
Yep.
of the assembly.
What was the 200 what?
250 princes.
Princes, meaning that men that the people had respect for. Read.
Of the assembly, famous in the congregation,
Yep.
men of
What
renown,
were they, brother?
famous in the congregation,
Famous among the people. These men were stars. Read. These men were stars among Israel, meaning that when these men talked, people listened to them. Read.
men of renown,
Yeah.
and they gathered themselves together against Moses,
Read. What did they do?
and they gathered themselves together against Moses.
So these men of stature, these men that the people had respect for, they gathered themselves together against the men of the Lord, Moses. Now remember, Moses went in front of Pharaoh. In Hamashiach, through Hamashiach in the Most High, he was able to get our people out of Egypt. Now these men that were slaves in Egypt, now they stood up against the men of the Lord. Read.
And they gathered themselves together
Yep.
against Moses
Read.
and against Aaron,
And against Aaron. Read.
and said unto them,
Yep.
You take too much upon you.
Now that's a problem. That is a problem that we have among Israel. We have men that now they are in the truth. Now they stand against men that the Most High had put before them in the truth. Read.
Every one of them, and the Most High is among them.
Yep.
Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Most High.
So now they say, well, now you put yourself above everybody else, meaning that now they are accusing Moses of taking too much power.
Test.
Understand that Moses didn't choose himself for this task. The Most High through Mashiach chose Moses for this task. Read.
I think that's your mic. That's your mic.
Read.
Where we at? We at verse number 4.
Yep.
Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Most High will show who are his and who is holy. And will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he had chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Read.
Verse 6. This do, take your censers, Korah and all his company,
Read.
and put fire therein,
Yep.
and put incense in them before the Most High tomorrow.
So now this is a challenge. Now Moses is going to challenge them to see who the Most High is dealing with. Who the Most High is dealing with concerning Israel. Read.
And it shall be but the man whom the Most High doeth choose,
Read.
he shall be holy.
Yep.
Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
So Moses tells you guys, you take too much upon you. Now Moses was pleading with them. Now these are the rebels of Israel. Even in this truth, we have rebels too. These men were rebels. They stood up against Moses, stating that he took too much on him. Read.
And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi,
Read.
seemeth it but a small thing unto you, but the Most High of Israel, the power of Israel,
Read.
hath separated you from the congregation of Israel,
Yeah.
to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacles of the Most High.
So even though these guys, they were part of the tribe of Levi, the Most High had chosen them to do his service. No, they wanted more. they were not satisfied with their office. That's why at Village of Zion we tell brothers, if you are in an office, get better at it. And if it is Yazwil through a Mashiach, he may raise you up. There is no need to go against the leadership. If you want to do more things, hey, strive to do that. In fact, that is a good idea. But don't try to stand up against the leadership, stating that, oh, they take too much on themselves. These men, they stood up against Moses. They stood up against him, accusing him of taking over too many things, taking over too many activities. Whereas we all know clearly that the Most High chose Moses to do this, to take charge of the people of Israel. Read.
And to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
Read.
Verse 10.
Read.
And he had brought thee near to him.
Yep.
And all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee.
Yep.
And all thy brethren, and seek ye the priesthood also.
Now they were not satisfied. They wanted more. These men, even though they were princes, they were respected men among Israel, they wanted more fame. Read.
Verse 11. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High.
Read.
And what is Aaron that you murmur against him? And Moses said to Dathan,
sent to call.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
So they didn't want to listen to Moses. Now this was an order for Moses for them to come. No, these two, they refused to show up. Read.
Verse 13. It is a small thing. Is it a small thing, but thou hast brought us up out of the land of flowers? Sorry. Sorry about that. Is it a small thing, but thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness?
Now, we have to shake our head. What were we doing in Egypt? In Egypt, we were slaves.
Yeah.
We had, in Egypt, the Egyptians, they had power over us. In Egypt, we couldn't do whatever we wanted to do. Now these guys, what did they say? Read it again. What did they say?
Is it a small thing, but thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey?
Milk and honey?
To kill us in the wilderness?
So meaning that for them, they were living good in Egypt. Now, you ask yourself, think about it for a moment. You were slaves in the land of the Egyptians.
Nothing.
Now the Most High took you out to give you freedom. Instead of praising Him, they say they had milk and honey. Now this is typically Israel. That's the way we are.
So I think now that comes to a point of just them being envious.
Of course, yeah.
So because they see that the Most High is dealing with Moses, and I'm pretty sure he has what we call clout, with the congregation, they wanted more.
Of course, yeah.
So they were just clout chasing, trying to keep up with him.
Of course, yeah. And even though they were princes, they were not satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the covetousness.
Of course, yeah.
They wanted more than their station.
Of course,
that's crazy. Except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us.
Yep.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that flow with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up.
They say they will not come up. Read.
Verse 15.
Yep.
And Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Most High, respect not their offering.
Respect not thou the offering. Read.
Respect not thou their offering.
Yep.
I have not taken one donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them.
You see, now Moses was very wroth and said unto the Most High. At that time, Moses was like the mediator between us and the Most High. Ask yourself, what did Moses do to these guys? He did nothing wrong to them. He didn't take even a donkey from them. He did not take even a chicken from them.
This man went from being a prince himself, living in luxury,
Yep.
to throwing it all away for his people. Like I
Yep.
said, he asked for nothing,
For nothing. Yep.
and he brought them out of slavery.
Yep.
He's bringing them to the promised land,
Yep.
and all they're thinking about is me, 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 me,
Yep.
me, me.
Now this is typically Israel.
It is.
Everywhere you turn it, this is Israel. Israel, Israel. Read.
1 second.
Because that's the way we are. We are always envious one of another. Read.
Verse 16. And Moses said unto Korah,
Read.
Be thou and all thy company
Yeah.
before the Most High.
So Moses told them, you and all your comrades get together in that spot. Read.
Thou and they and Aaron tomorrow,
Yep.
and take every man his censer,
Yep.
and put incense in them,
Yep.
and bring ye before the Most High every man his censer,
Read.
250 censers.
Yep.
Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. Verse 18.
Yep.
And they took every man his censer and put fire in them, and incense, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron.
So the men of the Lord, they stood together. Now, ask yourself, these brothers were in slavery. They couldn't even speak against the Egyptians. Now they are out of slavery. Now they think now they have all power. This is nonsense. That is like nonsense. Read.
Verse 19.
Read.
And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the congregation. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Separate thyself from among the congregation.
So now, the Most High pretty much advised Moses and Aaron to stay away from these guys. Stay away from the rebels. Let the rebels by themselves. Read.
Separate yourself from among these congregations,
From among these rebels. Read.
that I may consume them,
What?
that I may consume
That he
them
may kill them. Read.
in a moment.
In a moment. Read.
And they fell upon their faces
Yeah.
and said, O power,
Yeah.
O the power of the spirits of all flesh,
Read.
shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
See, now that is the example of a leader. Now, not every leader will be like that. A man like Isaiah will not be like that. Jeremiah will be like that. You have to wonder, these men, even though they were in sin, Moses wanted the Most High to spare their lives. Jeremiah, he cried for the people. Read.
Verse 24.
Read.
Speak, verse 23. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying,
Yep.
Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
Yep.
And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram,
Yep.
and the elders of Israel followed him.
Read.
And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men.
Of what?
The tents of these wicked men.
Of these wicked men. These men were wicked. Because they stood up against Moses.
We just stand up against the Most High, really.
In fact, basically, this is what they do. They stood up against the Most High. They were not satisfied. Read.
Depart, I pray you,
Yep.
from the tents of these wicked men,
Read.
and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
Read.
So they get up from the tabernacles of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side.
Yep.
And Dathan, Abiram came out,
Yep.
and stood in the door of their tents,
Yep.
and their wives, and
Yep.
their sons, and their little children,
Read.
And Moses said hereby, ye shall know that the Most High had chosen me.
Have sent me.
Sorry. Had sent me
Yeah.
to do all these
To
works.
do all these works. Moses didn't put himself in that position. The Most High put him in that position. That's why many of you brothers who are in this truth, if you are in a position, the Most High put in the spirit of elders to put you there.
God.
Your aim is to magnify that office, meaning that do more. And if it is Yah's will through a Mashiach, the Most High may raise you up again. These men were wicked men. Read.
For I have not done them of my own mind.
Read.
Verse 29.
Read.
If these men die the common death of all men,
Read.
or if they be visited after the visitation of all men,
Read.
then the Most High had not sent me.
So now this is a challenge. We are going to see who the Most High had chosen for this task. Read.
But if the Most High make a new thing,
Yeah.
and the earth open up her mouth and swallow them up,
Yeah.
with all that appertain unto them,
Yeah.
and they go down quick into the pit,
Yeah.
then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High.
Of course, they provoked the Most High. These brothers, they provoked the Most High because they stood up against Moses. They stood up against Moses, therefore the Most High is going to reward them for their rebellion. Read.
Verse 31.
Read.
And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, the ground clave asunder
Yeah.
that was under them,
Read.
and the earth opened her mouth
So the earth opened her mouth, read,
and swallowed them up,
and do what?
and swallowed them up.
And swallowed them up. Why? Because they were wicked. They were wicked. Therefore, the Most High is rewarding them. Read.
And their houses,
Yep.
and all the men that appertain unto Korah,
Read.
and all their goods,
Read.
they and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit.
So you can see that the Most High was not playing with these brothers. He was not playing with them. Because at that time, Moses was the mediator between Israel and the Most High. So those guys that stood up against Moses, typically they were standing up against the Most High himself. Read.
Verse 33 again. They and all that appertain to them
Yeah.
went down alive into the pit.
So they, their belongings, their wives, and their sons went into the earth. Read.
And the earth closed upon them,
Yeah.
and they perished from among the congregation.
What happened to them?
They perished from among the congregation.
And these guys, they were history. They became history. Read.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them.
Yep.
For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
So our people that were there, they went away because they didn't want this to happen to them as well. Read.
And there came out a fire from the Most High, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
So Dathan, Abiram, and Korah, and the other guys, they all got their reward. Read.
Verse 36. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron,
Yeah.
the priest, and he took up
That he take up.
that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter down the fire yonder,
Yep.
for they are hallowed.
Read.
Verse 38. The censers of these sinners against their own souls,
Yeah.
let them make them broad plates for a covering
Yeah.
of the altar.
Of the altar. Read.
For they offered them unto the Most High, therefore
Yeah.
they are hallowed,
Yep.
and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel.
Yep.
And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burnt had offered,
Yeah.
and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar.
Read.
Verse 40. To be a memorial unto the children of Israel,
Yeah.
that no stranger,
Let no stranger read.
which is not of the seed of Aaron,
Yeah.
come near to offer incense before the Most High.
So these guys that that stood up against Moses, the Most High were not playing with them. He punished them on the spot. Read. Read.
That he be not as Korah and as his company,
So that this was for a memorial, so that these guys that will come out later, will know what happened to Korah and
his company.
his fellow rebellious brothers. Read.
As the Most High said unto him,
Yep.
by the hand of Moses.
By the head of Moses. Read.
Verse 41.
Read.
But on the morrow, all the congregation, the children of Israel, murmured against Moses.
Again, you see the same thing.
The next day.
It is always murmuring. We are always murmuring against the leaders. That is our problem.
Stiff-necked and rebellious.
We are. Let's get it. Let's go to Isaiah 30 and verse 8. Because being a rebellious people is nothing but a staple of Israel. We are a rebellious people. Let's get now. We will leave Numbers for a moment to go to the book of Isaiah to see what God commanded Isaiah to write. Isaiah 30, start at verse 8.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 8.
Yep.
Now go.
Go and now go. That's an action. Now go read.
Write it before them in a table.
Put it on a table, meaning that put it in a book. Whenever you write something, you write it so that you can come later
And remember it.
to see what you wrote, and also for people that come after you, so they can see what happened, so they can learn. Read.
And note it in a book.
And put it in a book. Read.
But it may be for the time to come.
That it may be for the time to come. Read.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever. Meaning that from back then all the way to the end. Because that stay where you are first. Read.
Verse number 9.
Read.
But this is a rebellious people.
What are so-called African Americans?
A rebellious people.
What are so-called Haitians?
A rebellious people.
What are so-called Jamaicans?
A rebellious people.
What are so-called Native Americans?
A rebellious people.
What are so-called Seminole Indians?
A rebellious people.
What are our people that are scattered all over the place?
A rebellious people.
We are a bunch of rebels. Read.
Lying children.
We love lies. We love lies. That's why we are in the church. That's why we are into garbage like Holy Ghost, fire, all that nonsense. That's why we are in the church. We love this nonsense. Read.
Children that would not fear, that are hear the law of the Most High.
We don't want to hear God's laws. We have no fear for the Most High. The same way we were rebellious during the time of Moses, the same way we are rebellious now. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Read.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime
Read.
were written for our learning.
So anything that was written back then, they were written for us now to learn. Read.
That we through patience
Read.
and comfort of the scriptures
Read.
might have hope.
Now go back to number 16. So we can have hope. Now, you can see that Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, they were not choosing a right path. Read.
This book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 41 again.
Read.
But on the morrow,
Yep.
all the congregation of the children of Israel
Read.
murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying,
Yep.
Ye have killed
Yep.
the people of the Most High.
Who? What?
Ye have killed the people of the Most High.
No, Moses didn't kill them. The Most High killed them. 1 Samuel 2 verse 6. The Most High killed the rebels. You have to understand, if you don't want to follow God's laws, He will kill you.
5 verse 6?
1 Samuel 2 and verse 6.
2 6, I got you.
Read.
This book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 6.
Read.
The Lord kill it.
What does God do?
The Lord kill it.
The Lord kills. Read.
And make it alive.
He bring people back. He allows you to live. Read.
He bring it down to the grave.
Yep. So if you die, He may resurrect. If you die, He kills you. Read.
And bring it up.
And He can resurrect you. the same way he resurrected Hamashiach Yahawashai, the same way he resurrected Lazarus. Read.
For Lord make it poor
Yep.
and make it rich.
Yep.
He bring it low and lift it up.
So he brings people down and he brings people up. So these guys that were slaves in Egypt, the Most High took them from a low state to a higher state, to the point that they went from being slaves in Egypt to renowned, to men of stature, to being princes among the children of Israel.
I got some more right here too.
Read.
Verse 8.
Read.
He raised up the poor
Yep.
out of the dust
Yep.
and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among
You
princes.
do what, brother?
To set them among princes.
So the Most High took Dathan, Abiram, and the other rebels from dunghill to put them among his princes. Now, if this is not great stuff, I don't know what is great stuff. To went from being a slave to a prince among your people, that's great. But these rebels, they were not satisfied.
It's not enough for some people.
They were not satisfied to the point that they stood against God himself. They stood against Moses. Even Moses was pleading with them not to follow their evil thought. No. They were in their course, therefore the Most High killed them. Read.
There's something to we learned. I learned from a portion.
Yep.
On Shabbat. There's something we learned about how Moshe answered the children of Israel. This is Exodus 17 and 2.
Let's go to Exodus 17, verse 2.
Here's the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 2.
Read.
Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said,
what did they say?
Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide with me? Wherefore do you tempt the Most High?
So that's the way we are. We are always finding a way to test the Most High. And guess what? Sometimes the Most High will not be kind with us. Because if you have a child that is never satisfied, at one point you will say, you know what? That's it. Now go back to Numbers 16.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 42.
Now when you read Numbers 16, these men, they caused their own death. They caused their own death because they stood up against God himself. Read.
And it came to pass,
Read.
when the congregation was gathered against Moses
Read.
and against Aaron,
Read.
that they looked towards the tabernacle of the congregation.
Read.
And behold,
Yep.
the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Most High appeared.
And the glory of the Most High appeared. Now, remember, it was a challenge. If Moses stood up, that means the Most High was with him. If it were the other way around, that means the Most High would be with Dathan, Abiram, and the other rebels. Read.
And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation.
Read.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying,
Yep.
Get you up from among this congregation.
Read.
That I may consume them.
Now, these guys, after the death of Dathan and Abiram, you have other people, other murmurers that were talking against Moses and Aaron. Now, the Most High now told Moses to get away so he can consume the rest. He told Moses to stay away so I can deal with the rest of them. The book of Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. Many of you think that God, you can play with him. No, you cannot play with God. You stood up against him, guess what? He will deal with you. After the death of Dathan and Abiram, you had other rebels that were speaking against Moses. Now, God told Moses to stay away so I can get these ones too. Read.
Here's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 29.
Read.
Oh, that they were wise.
32 and verse 39.
39.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Let's see what happened, because many of you Israelites, you think that God, you can play with him. No. If you don't want to listen to his commandments, he will kill you. That's why we always ask him for his forgiveness. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39.
Read.
See now
what?
that I, even I, am he.
Read.
And there is no other God with me.
So God says that there is no other God with him. What does he do?
I kill.
What does God do?
I kill.
God kills people. God kills people. He killed Dathan, Abiram, and all the other rebels. Read.
And I make alive.
Yep.
I wound.
Yep.
And I heal.
Yep.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
So if the Most High is angry with you, you are done. Because he is the almighty power. Go hold that. Go to Nehemiah 1 verse 5. Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 5. Many of you think that you can do whatever you want with the Most High. No. He is the almighty power. Get off your high horses. Humble yourself. Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 5. Let's see what Nehemiah says. In fact, start at verse 1 and then 5.
So 1 verse 5.
Yep.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1, verse 5.
Yep.
And said, I beseech thee,
Yep.
O most high power of heaven,
Yep.
the great and terrible power.
What?
The great and terrible power.
The great and terrible power. He is a terrible God. If he puts men to serve his people, if you are a rebel, he will get rid of you. Read.
That keepeth covenant and mercy of them that love him.
That love him.
And observe his commandments. Oh, I don't have a precept for that one.
Now go back to Numbers.
I had a precept for that one.
Yeah, hold on. No, go back to Numbers.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 43 again.
Yep.
And Moses said it, and Moses and Aaron came before the Most High.
Read.
Sorry. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the Most High spake, saying,
Saying what?
Get you up from among this congregation,
Read.
but I may consume them as in a moment.
So now you see, oftentimes God told Moses to stay away.
Step aside, man.
Why? Because Moses was the intercessor, was the mediator between the Most High and Israel. Now, that's why the title is, Lord, to whom shall we go? At that time, Moses was the mediator. He was the one that was between us and the Most High. Read.
And they fell upon their faces.
Read.
And Moses said unto Aaron,
What did he say to him?
Take a censer.
Take a censer, read.
And put fire thereon.
And put fire thereon to do what?
From off the altar, and put on incense.
Yep.
And go quickly unto the congregation.
And go quickly, because remember, these guys, they were rebels too. And they were speaking against Moses. And what was the Most High doing to them? Read.
And make an atonement for them.
And make an atonement for them. Read.
For there is wrath gone out from the Most High.
And that the Most High was sent an angel to kill the people that were speaking against Moses. It is not a joke. If you think this truth is a joke, hey, keep thinking this truth is a joke.
It's not a joke.
This is not a joke. This is real. Read.
And the plague is begun.
And the plague, I mean that God sent an angel to kill our people. Many of you think this truth is something you can play with. No. Sirach 39:28. This truth, you cannot play with it. Many of you think you can do whatever you want in this truth. You can have one foot in, one foot out. No. You have to have both feet in or both feet out. Plain and simple. Sirach 39 verse 28.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28.
Read.
There be spirits
Yep.
that are created for vengeance.
What vengeance means that the Most High sent a spirit to kill our people that were speaking against Moses after the death of Dathan and Abiram. Read.
Which in their fury
Read.
lay on sore strokes.
Source, yep.
which in their fury they are sore strokes in a time of destruction.
In time of destruction, read.
They pour out their force.
They pour out their force, read.
And appease the wrath.
And appease the wrath, read.
Of him that made them.
The him is God. So now these spirits, they were there to do the bidding of the Lord. Now you should not be angry with Aaron and Moses. They didn't kill those people.
That's something I want to mention too. So they're blaming Moses and Aaron for these people's deaths.
Yep.
But I think they should take responsibility for what they did by going against the Most High in the first place.
That's our people. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable for our actions.
And the thing is, they know that it's Moses. They're waiting for deliverer to come to get them out, who was sent from the Most High.
Yep.
So why would they go against the people that's helping you versus the one that basically rebelled in the first place?
That is Israel. In fact, while you are in this, go to Isaiah 30 verse 12. That we see it all the time in the streets. They come against us, but they will not go against the pastor who is robbing them blind. They will not go against the pastor who is raping the children. They will not go against the pastor who is committing adultery with their wives.
Nope.
Let's see what God says. Isaiah 30 verse 12.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 12.
Read.
Wherefore
read.
Wherefore thus says the Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel is another name for God, is another title for God. The Holy One of Israel. Read.
Because you despise this word.
Because we despise this word. Because we do what? Because we do what?
Despise this word.
We don't want to listen to commandments.
Despise this word.
We don't want to put the word of God into application.
You despise this word.
We refuse to learn the commandments.
You despise this word.
We refuse to keep them.
You despise this word.
We refuse to put them into application for our good.
You despise this word.
We refuse to have faith in Hamashiach.
You despise this word.
Read.
And trust in oppression.
What does we do?
Trust in oppression.
In voting.
Trust in oppression.
In civil rights.
Trust in oppression.
In civil liberties.
Trust in oppression.
In the other nations.
Trust in oppression.
We love oppression. We love to be servants to the other nations. Jeremiah 2 verse 14. This Bible is real. Many of you brothers and sisters, you think that you can be in this truth at the same time do whatever you want to do. No, it is not so. It is to be or not to be. Either you are a lawful Israelite or you are an unlawful Israelite. Meaning that either you are an applicant of God's laws or you are a non-applicant of God's laws. Plain and simple. It is to be or not to be. Read.
Where's the book of Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14.
Read.
Is Israel a servant?
What does God say about so-called African Americans?
Is Israel a servant?
What does God say about so-called Native Americans?
Is Israel a servant?
What does God say about so-called Seminole Indians?
Is Israel a servant?
God says, are we servants? Read.
Is he a homeborn slave?
We are homeborn slaves. Dathan, Abiram, Korah, they were slaves in Egypt. They went from being slaves to becoming men of the Lord. Instead of being satisfied with their position, they wanted to go against Moses. And guess what? They get what they wanted. They get the reward. Moses was the one pleading for them and pleading with them. Go back to number 16. Hold on, you have a precept? Go ahead. Go to Hebrews 13 verse 5. Let's see what God says. Because if you are in this truth, you are in an office, be content. If you want to get to a higher office, do things that are higher, meaning that while you are in your office, show yourself a man that is willing to go over and beyond what God puts in your hand, but never go against the men of the Lord. Read.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 5.
Read.
Let your conversation be without covetousness.
Yep. Okay, now God says don't let what you think or what you are saying is about covetousness. Is it? In fact, hold that while you are in this. Go to the book of Exodus 20. Thou shalt not covet. when you want what your brother or your sister has with bad intention, that is being covetous. In fact, this is you are breaking the 10th commandment. Read.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 17.
Read.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Meaning you should not have envy of what your brother has. Read.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Read.
Nor his manservant.
Read.
Nor his maidservant.
Yep.
Nor his ox.
Yep.
Nor his donkey.
Yep.
Nor anything.
Not anything or anyone, read,
but is thy neighbor's.
that belongs to your neighbor. Now, these guys, they were breaking this commandment. They were envious of Moses. And guess what? They got death. Go back to Hebrews.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 5.
Read.
Let your conversation
Yep.
be without covetousness,
Read.
and be content
And be content. Read.
with such things as ye have.
As ye have. So these rebels, they were not happy in their office. Even though they were stars, even though they were princes, they wanted more. Hold on. Go back to number 16. Number 16.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16. Let's go 46 again.
Read.
And Moses said unto Aaron,
What did he say to Aaron?
take a censer
Take a censer, read.
and put fire therein
And put fire therein, read.
from the altar,
Yep.
from off the altar,
Yep.
and put on incense,
Yep.
and go quickly unto the congregation,
Read.
and make an atonement for them.
Yep.
For there is wrath gone out from the Most
You see,
High.
even though these guys,
We're plotting.
the ones that were murmuring after the death of Dathan and Abiram, Moses still had compassion for them. Read.
The plague is gone. The plague is begun.
Yep.
And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation.
Yep.
And behold,
read.
the plague was begun among the people.
Yep.
And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people.
Yep.
And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed.
Read.
Now they that died in the plague were 14,700.
14,700 plus 250 plus Dathan and Abiram. A lot of people died. I mean,
In 2 days.
the Most High killed a lot of Israelites. What is your precept, officer?
Oh, you said Prince and
Yeah.
Jeremiah 13:18.
Yeah, 13 verse 18. You have to understand that the Most High has no respect of person. If you are a priest, you are a general, you are somebody that is in his service. If you want to rebel against him, he will kill you. You are a captain, you are an officer, you are a deacon, you are a bishop, you are an evangelist, whatever position you hold. If you are a rebel, the Most High can get rid of you. Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 18.
Read.
Say unto the king and to the queen,
Read.
humble yourselves.
What does God say?
Humble yourselves.
We have to humble ourselves. Many of us, we think that because we have a doctorate in law, or we have a law degree, or we have a bachelor's degree, or we have a PhD, we think that we are above. No. The Most High allowed you to have this degree. We have to stop being pompous. We have to stop thinking that we are more than we are. No. Read.
Here's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 18 from the top.
Read.
Say unto the king
Read.
and to the queen,
And to the queen what?
humble yourselves.
Humble yourselves. Read.
Sit down,
Yep, sit down. Read.
for your principalities shall come down.
So if you refuse to keep God's laws, you want to be a rebel, the Most High will get rid of you. Go back to Numbers 16.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 48.
Read.
And he stood between the dead and the living,
Yep.
and the plague was stayed.
And the plague stayed. Read.
Now they that died in the plague were 14,700.
Read.
Besides them that died about the matter of Korah, 50, and Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So on that day, more than 14,000 people died because the Most High took care, got rid of Dathan's family too.
14,750.
More than that, because remember they had sons and
It
wives.
says right here, after it says 50.
Yeah, what did it again?
It says, now they that died in the plague were 14,700. Besides them that died about the matter of Korah, 50. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed.
So many of our people died. The Most High killed a lot of people on that day. You have to understand, if you don't want to keep God's laws, you want to be a rebel, he will get rid of you. At that time, Moses was the intercessor, was the mediator between Israel and the Most High. Now, who is the intercessor now? Let's see who.
Okay.
Go, drop everything, go to Deuteronomy 18. Let's see now, because Moses is gone now. Let's see now, who is the intercessor?
It was 1850, I believe. Oh,
Yeah.
I was 18.
Deuteronomy 18 verse 15.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 15.
Yeah.
For most high thy power.
But start at verse 13.
13. This the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 13.
Read.
Thou shalt be perfect with the most high thy power.
Yep.
For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto the observation of times,
Read.
and unto the diviners.
No, not two. Yep. Read.
But as for thee, the most high thy power had not suffered thee.
Start at verse 1.
What's one? Gotcha. It's the book of Numbers, Deuteronomy 18, verse 1.
Read.
The priest of the Levites
Yep.
and all the tribes of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offering of the Most High made by fire and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among the children of the Most High. Read
Read verse 1 again.
verse 1. The priest of the Levites and all the tribe of Levi
Read.
shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel.
Now go back to verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15.
Read.
For most high thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet
A prophet, read.
from the midst of thee,
From the midst of thee, we will do what?
of thy brethren,
Read.
like unto me.
Like unto me now. Moses told our people that the Most High will raise somebody who is like him. Read.
Unto him
Yep.
ye shall hearken.
Unto him we shall listen to. Now go to the book of John, chapter 6, and see something very good. John chapter 6. Because Hamashiach now is the mediator between us and the Most High. John chapter 6, start at verse 1.
This is the book of John, chapter 6, verse 1. After these things,
Yep.
Yahushua went over the sea of Galilee,
Read.
which is the sea of Tiberias. Tiberias, rather.
Yep.
And a great multitude followed him.
And a great multitude followed him. Now verse 42.
Verse 42.
Read. Let's see, because a great multitude was following Hamashiach Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Read.
Verse 42.
Read.
And they said,
Yep.
Is it not this Yahushua, the son of Joseph?
Is it not Christ? Is it not Jesus, the son of Joseph? So now this already proves that Hamashiach Yahushai is the son of Joseph. This already proved that this garbage called immaculate deception is not biblical. So the Catholic Church has been lying to you all day. The Christian Church has been bamboozled you for a while. Christ is the son of Joseph. Read.
Is it not this Yahushua, the son of Joseph,
Read.
whose father and mother we know?
Yep.
How is it that he said, I come down from heaven?
Read.
Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them,
What did he say to them?
Murmur not among yourselves.
What does God say? What did he say to them?
Murmur not among yourselves.
We all, when it comes to murmuring, this is something that we as Israelites, we love to do. We love murmuring. Read, go to a dictionary, the meaning of murmur. As Israelites, we have a bunch of bad manners. We love to go against the Most High. We love somehow to find a way to go against His laws because we are rebellious. The meaning of the word murmur. Go to a dictionary. The meaning of murmur. In this truth, once you are in the truth, as Israelites, we have a bunch of bad manners. Meaning that what you used to do, we love to go against the Most High. What you used to do should be love of the past. In fact, know that somehow to find a way to go against His laws. We are new because we are rebellious. We are in the meaning of the word murmur. Therefore, go to stop murmuring. The meaning of murmur. To murmur. This book of as Israelites, we have a bunch of bad manners. Meaning that what you used to do, we love to go against the Most High. What you used to do should be love of the past. In fact, know that somehow to find a way to go against His laws. We are new because we are rebellious. We are in the meaning of the word murmur. Therefore, go to stop dictionary. The meaning of murmur. To murmur. This book of as Israelites, we have a bunch of bad manners. Meaning that what you used to do, we love to go against the Most High. We love the past. In fact, know that somehow to find a way to go against this. We are new because we are rebellious. Israel can also be second by the word. Therefore, go to stop murmur. That's why as Israelites always have a bunch of bad interests. We love to go against we love and use of your brother. Someone will find a way to go against this. We are new because we are rebellious. Israel can also be second by
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, and verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ,
now you are in love and you say that you will somehow find a way to go against this. We are new because we are
he is a new creature.
We are new creatures.
All things are passed away.
So back then we were whoremongers. Back then we used to smoke weed. Back then we used to smoke cigarettes. Now, as we are new breed in the truth, as we are in the truth now, we must change. We must leave our old ways behind and be new person, be new creatures, be applicant of God's laws. Read.
We are new creatures.
Read.
Old things are passed away.
Read.
Behold,
read.
All things are become new.
So now we are a new breed. Go back to where you were in John 6.
This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 42.
No, John 6.
Oh, sorry, 6.
Mm-hmm.
John 6 and verse 44, actually. It said, no man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him.
Now, hence the title, Lord, to whom shall we go? If you want to get to the Most High, you have to go through Hamashiach. Read that verse again. If you want to come to God, you have to go through Christ.
This is the book of St. John,
Read.
chapter 6, verse 44.
Read.
No man can come to me.
No man can come to Christ, read.
Except the Father which hath sent me draw him.
So meaning that he and the Father, they work together. For you to come to the Most High, you have to go through Christ. And the Most High himself, if he wants you, he has to bring you to a Mashiach. John 6 again. John 6 verse 6 again. What you just read? Read it again.
44. This is the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him.
Mm-hmm.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
Read.
it is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of the Most High.
Read.
Every man, therefore, that had heard and had learned of the Father cometh unto me.
Yep. Now, John chapter 1 verse 45. As an Israelite, as a real Jew, for you to have access to the Father, you have to go through Hamashiach. That's why we have the title, Lord, to whom shall we go? Let's see who the we is. We are the Israelites. Let's see what that Israelite said according to Hamashiach, concerning Hamashiach, when he saw Hamashiach. John 1:45.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 1, verse 45.
Read.
Philip findeth Nathanael
Yep.
and said unto him,
What did he say to them?
We have found him,
We have found him. Read.
of whom Moses in the law,
Of whom Moses in the law. What did Moses say in the law? Hold that. Go to Deuteronomy 18 verse 15. You have to understand that before Moses died, he talked about Hamashiach. He prophesied that Hamashiach would come. So as Israelites, we should believe in Hamashiach because Hamashiach is the door. Read.
this is the book of Deuteronomy,
Read.
chapter 18, verse 15.
Verse 15, read.
The Most High,
Yep.
thy power.
Thy power. The Most High, thy power. God is only our God.
That's right.
God is not the God of the other nations. Yes, he created the other nations, but he is our God only. God belongs to us, and we belong to him. Read.
The Most High, thy power, will
Read.
rise up
Read.
unto thee a prophet
A prophet, read.
from the midst of thee,
From the midst of the read.
of thy brethren,
Yep.
like unto me.
Like unto him, meaning
Unto-
that he came from Israel. His father was Joseph. Hamashiach Christ is from the line of David. Therefore, Christ is an Israelite of the mighty tribe of Judah. Go back to John 6. John 1.
This is the book of John,
Yep.
St. John, chapter 1, verse 44.
Verse 44, read.
Now Philip,
Yep.
no, it wasn't 44, it was
Verse
45.
45, read.
Philip findeth Nathanael
Yep.
and said unto him,
And what did he say to him?
We have found him,
So they found him, read.
of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write.
Of whom Moses in the book of Deuteronomy 18 verse 15 spoke of, read.
Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of
Read.
Joseph,
Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, the son, the biological son of Joseph, read.
and Nathanael said unto him,
What did he say to them?
Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?
Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Because at that time, this area was known as a slum, as a ghetto.
In the
The same way we can say, well, can anything good come out of Franklin Park? It is that same way. Now he wanted to, Nathanael said, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Read.
Come and see.
Come and see. Read.
Verse 47.
Read.
Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him
Yep.
and said of him,
What did he say?
Behold,
Behold, read.
an Israelite indeed,
An Israelite indeed, read.
in whom is no guile.
And whom is no guide. Now that is the commentary that we, all of us, should aspire for. To have Hamashiach saying good things about us to the Father. Why? Why? 1 John 2 verse 1. Let's see why. As you can see, the title is, To whom shall we go? For you to have access to the Father, you have to go through Hamashiach. Why? 1 John chapter 2 and verse 1.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 1.
Read.
My little children,
My little children, read.
these things write I unto you,
Read.
that you sin not.
That we sin not, that we avoid sin. Because what is sin? 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. What is sin? Because we are the Israelites. We are the real Jews. As the real Jews, as the people of God, we must sin less. We must do our best to avoid sin. What is sin? Read.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4.
Read.
Whosoever committed sin,
Read.
transgresseth also the law.
Read why?
For sin
For sin, S-I-N, read.
is the transgression of the law.
Eating pork,
is a transgression of the law.
Being envious of your brother,
Is a transgression of the law.
when you hate your brother or sister.
Is the transgression of the law.
So when you go against God's laws, you are automatically in sin. Because sin is nothing but going against the laws of God. Plain and simple. Go back to where you were in John 6.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 1, verse 48. That Daniel said unto him, Whence knowest thou me? Yahushua answered and said unto him,
Yep.
Before that Philip called thee,
Yep.
when thou was under the fig tree,
Read.
I saw thee.
He saw him. Now go back to John 6. You have to understand, Hamashiach is the one pleading our cause. Read.
Which one we go to?
John 6.
Where?
Where we were, John 6.
Oh, gotcha. Same. Okay. This is the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 41.
Read.
The Jews then murmured at him
Yep.
because he said, I am the... Oh, no, I went too far.
Yeah, go keep it, just keep it, yeah.
I am the bread which came down from heaven.
Now hold that, go back to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 1. He is the bread that came down from heaven.
This is
what is he doing for us? What is he doing for, what is Hamashiach doing for us? 1 John chapter 2 and verse 1. Let's see what Hamashiach is currently doing for us, Israelites. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 1. Let's see what he's doing for us.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 1.
Read.
My little children.
My little children, read.
These things write I unto you.
Read.
That ye sin not.
That we avoid sinning, read.
And if any man sin,
now if we fall, read.
We have an advocate.
We have an advocate. What is the word? What is the meaning of the word advocate? Brothers and sisters who are in the chat, what is the meaning of the word advocate? You have to understand that in this truth, we have a major advocate. Let's see the meaning of the word advocate. What is the meaning? Yeah, put it on.
Let me know.
Yep. Advocate. A person who publicly supports or recommends a particular cause or policy. Similar to a lawyer. Also another definition, a person who pleads on someone else's behalf. A person who pleads on someone else's behalf. Hence, a lawyer, a counselor, a barrister. I love these two.
Lawyer.
Advocate and lawyer. Let's see what that lawyer is doing for us. 1 John chapter 2. Let's see what Hamashiach is doing for us. Let's see what Jesus Christ is doing for us in front of the Father. Read.
And if any man sin.
And if any man sin, if any man somehow you falter, you don't keep God's laws, read.
We have an advocate.
We have a lawyer, read.
With the Father.
With the Father. And who is he? What is his name? Read.
Hamashiach Yahushua, the righteous.
Jesus Christ, the righteous. Plain and simple. For you to come to the Father, you have to go through Hamashiach. What did Hamashiach say? What did Hamashiach command us? How did he teach us to pray? Matthew 6 verse 9. You have to understand Hamashiach is the door. You have to go through him. During the time of Moses, Moses was the mediator between us and God. But now, with Christ on the scene, Christ is the intercessor. Christ is the one who is between us and the Most High. Read. Matthew 6 verse 9. Start at verse 8.
There's the book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 8.
Read.
Be not ye therefore like unto them.
Read.
For your Father knoweth that things you have need of.
So God, who is a so-called black man, he knows what you need. Read.
Before you ask him.
Yep.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye.
Here is the way we have to pray. Read.
Our Father.
What does Christ say?
Our Father.
Our Father. Read.
Which art in heaven.
Who is in heaven. Read.
Hallowed be thy name.
Our Father in heaven, your name is to be holy. Your name is set apart. He didn't say pray to him. He says pray to God. Read.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come. Read.
Thy will be done in earth,
Yeah.
as it is in heaven.
So Matthew 5:48. Let's see what Hamashiach also says in Matthew 5 verse 48. Read.
This book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 48.
Read.
Be ye therefore perfect.
What does Christ say, brother?
Be ye therefore perfect.
Read.
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
You see, he took himself out. He advises us to be perfect like his Father. To be perfect like our Father. That's why we always pray in Christ's name. So Christ and the Most High are two different beings. Now this, we see by this already proves that this garbage that we call Trinity is not biblical. How can you be three persons in one? It makes no sense. Many of you are eating the lies of the church. Jesus the Redeemer. My brother, where in the Bible God says he's three in one? It makes no sense. That's why you that are always on the comment board, we always advise you to call us. Guess what? We are going to open the line. Friend Jesus. We are going to open the line. We want you that disagree with us to call us. The line is going to be, we are going to open the line. We will take a short break very quick. We are going to open the line. Have any, if there is any of you who are against with what we are saying, that Hamashiach is the door, for us to get access to the Father, we have to go through Hamashiach. Hey, the line will be open. To call us, you will dial 954-526-5299. We want to talk to you. Isaiah 41:21.
Yeah, I'm going right there.
We want to talk to you. Bring your cause. Show me where you can just go to the Father. Show me where you can just go to him. No, you have to go through Hamashiach. Isaiah 41:21.
Here's the book of Isaiah chapter 41 verse 21.
Read.
Produce your cause.
What does God say?
Produce your cause.
We are going, listen, have your case ready. Read.
Say it the Most High.
Read.
Bring forth your strong reasons.
Please bring forth your strong reasons. Play.
Abanawa Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabaraka Thumb. Kwame Yasharala. Give them something they could dance to. Never leave home without my friends zone. Never leave home without my friends zone. Never leave home without my friends zone. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends on. Yeah, never leave home without my friends on. And book of numbers 15 and 38 is shown. I'll be posted where I'm all throughout a generation. When you got them on, you set apart from these other nations. Gotta let your light shine, let them know it's on. When the 1/3 awaken, we'll be going home. Got all my friends is with my Z's and they hanging long. When I run into my Akium, they hollering shalom. So I never leave home without my friends on. If I go and hit the mall, I got my friends on. Even if I'm going to a ball, I got my friends on. With the border blue ribbon and the all white linen on. I don't feel right if I ain't got them on. Like a pair of shoes, there's no excuse to leave them home. So you never catch me out without my friends on. Cause we the church, got them on my garment and on every shirt. Yeah, never leave home without my friends on. Never leave home without my friends on. Never leave home without my friends on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends on.
Yeah, my friends fringes, I be rocking, I be stomping, never stopping, Millie rocking. Why you acting out of pocket? Why you gotta do that? Keep commandments easy peasy, it ain't greedy. Keep it flowing like some gravy, do the work, I ain't lazy. Keep commandments understanding, never slacking, you'll never ever catch me with the eyes, Always giving my praises to Holy Father, Abba. Catch me in the streets with my fringes on, yeah.
Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my fringes on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my fringes on. Yeah.
Never leave home without my fringes. You won't never catch me lacking, cause I'm always representing. Got fake Jews all up in they feelings. Yeah, I see you staring at me. I suggest you mind your business. I don't never let swine touch my lips. So if you eat pork, baby, you can never kiss them. Only fools say how it don't exist. Man, this word like a sword, split your soul from your spirit. You ain't keeping all the laws, don't you hit my phone. I ain't Rodney King, I don't wanna get along. I done told the slave master I ain't working on the Sabbath. Written soul fringes all up on my uniform. Cry loud, spare not wisdom with the knowledge. I can't sugarcoat it for you, I ain't Willy Wonka. Drip so hard, baby, this that holy water. And it's Kwame Yasharala till we hit the coffin. Ooh.
Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my fringes on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my fringes on. Yeah. Give them something they could dance to. Give them something they can dance to. Remember, never leave home without your fringes on. Yeah. Abanawa Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabaraka Thumb. Kwame Yasharala. Give them something they could dance to. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my fringes on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my fringes on. Yeah, never leave home without my fringes on. And book of numbers 15 and 38 is shown. I'm supposed to wear them all throughout a generation. When you got them on, you set apart from these other nations. Gotta let your light shine, let them know it's on. When the 1/3 awaken, we'll be going home. Got on my fringes with my Z's and they hanging long. When I run into my Akium, they hollering shalom. So I never leave home without my fringes on. If I go and hit the mall, I got my fringes on. Even if I'm
We are back. The line is open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. The line is open. The number to call is 954-5299. We want you that have a contention with what we are teaching to call. Those of you that are against what we are teaching, we would like to hear from you. No, virgin birth is not in the Bible. No, the Trinity garbage is not in the Bible.
Not there.
And for you, as an Israelite, to get to the Father, you have to go through Hamashiach.
That's right.
So we are at the Light of Zion, we are on apologetically biblical. If we are going to say something, it must come from the Bible.
Come on.
Isaiah 8 verse 20. Let's see what the Bible says. Let's see what God says through Christ. Isaiah 8 verse 20.
Here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20.
Give us the track. Read.
To the law and to the testimony.
To the law and to the testimony. Read.
If they speak not according to this word,
a captain.
It is because
a captain.
If they speak not
priest,
according towards this word,
a priest.
They speak not according to this word.
A captain.
They speak not according to this word.
An officer.
If they speak not according to this word.
A minister.
If they speak not according to this word.
A deacon.
If they speak not according to this word.
A bishop.
If they speak not according to this word.
An evangelist.
If they speak not according to this word.
If they are speaking something that is not according to this word, read.
It is because there is no light in them.
Now, Proverbs 6:23. If we are speaking something that is not in this Bible, let's see what is happening to us.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23.
Read.
For the commandment is a lamp.
For the commandment is a lamp, read.
And the law is light.
And the law is light. If we are saying things that are against this Bible, that goes contrary to this Bible, that means there is no light in us. That means we are not applicant of God's law, of God's laws. The line is open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. No, it is not King David. It is Christ. No, virgin birth is not in the Bible. No, Christ and God are not the same. The Most High and Hamashiach, God and Christ, they are two different beings. They are not the same. We have, as Israelites, we have to come to the Father via Hamashiach. Give me the book of John chapter 6. Where you were. The line is open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. 954-526-5299. This world corrupts our people. In this world, we think that we don't want to come to the Father through a Mashiach. Let's see something very quick.
It's the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 44. No man can come to me except the Father, which has sent me. Draw him near.
Yeah, our Jen, you can call the number 954-526-5299. Call the phone number 954-526-5299. Call the number. We are here for you. We are your servant. 954-526-5299. We are your servant. We are here for you. Call the phone number. The number to call is 954-526-5299. We are your servants. We are here for you. Read.
With the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 44 again.
Read.
No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me. Draw him.
Read.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
At the last day, read.
It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of Yahweh. Every man, therefore, he had heard and had learned of the Father coming unto me.
So meaning that as you are learning of the Father, you have to come through Hamashiach because he is the teacher. He is the master teacher. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to Life or Death Radio Show.
Shalom.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
Shalom, bro. I just left a message. I have a different question about something that I heard.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was watching a certain different camp, and they was talking about like a marriage is not acceptable unless the father or the mother of the person that was basically saying like a marriage ain't even acceptable with God unless the father and the mother approved of it. And they were saying like sex don't really solidify the marriage. But when I was reading like if you have sex with a girl, she shall be your wife. I forgot what passage that was in, but I was trying to get some understanding on them because it didn't make no sense of what I was hearing.
All right, let's go to the book of Exodus 22 verse 16. My brother, at the Light of Zion, we do our best to stay in the Bible, and we do our best to tell you what God says. Because the Bible says, let God be true, but every man
a liar.
A liar. That's what the Bible says. Exodus 22 verse 16.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 22 verse 16.
Read.
And if a man entice a maid.
And if a man entice a maid, meaning that if that woman who is not married, who is not promised to anybody else, if you talk to her, read.
if a man entice a maid but is not betrothed,
Yeah.
and lie with her,
And as a result, the man and the woman, they have sexual intercourse. Read.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall. That's future tense. He shall surely take her to be his wife. Read.
If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
So now, this brother, if the father of that damsel refuses him to marry her, he has to pay the father. Read.
Thou shalt.
No, we read verse 17 again.
Say, if her father utterly refuse to give her unto him,
Yeah.
he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
So meaning that for him to take that virgin as his wife, the father has to agree. Now back then we had this nonsense that once you are 18 you can leave the household was not in place. Meaning that at that time the fathers, they had control over the daughters. So my brother, sex is nothing but the consummation of a marriage. But sex is not marriage, my brother.
Okay. So like me and my wife, before we came into this truth, we laid with each other. We didn't get approval from what they'll call a backdoor marriage. We didn't get approval from her father or her mother or nothing. Like basically what I got from what they were saying, that ain't solid. So is my marriage basically falsified, or is it?
We have something for you, my brother. Read it.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 7, verse 17.
Read.
Which when she had done as had bidden her, she brought her thither, and she wept, and she received the tears of her daughter, and she said unto her, Be of good comfort, my daughter.
Be of good comfort, my daughter. Read.
The Most High of heaven and earth give thee joy for this sorrow. Be of good comfort, my daughter.
Yep. So my brother, what you just pretty much sexual intercourse is nothing but the consummation of a marriage. Meaning that this is why it is best for brothers and sisters to start courting one another first, and then after that, or if they want to have a marriage ceremony, that's fine, and then they can sleep together. Because once that woman sleeps with the man,
here it is.
If he doesn't take her as his wife, what will he make her? My brother, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, if a brother and a sister sleep together, after the deed, the man doesn't take the woman as his wife. What is that sister become in Israel? What is she becoming in Israel? The book of Deuteronomy 23, verse 17.
23:17.
Let's see what she becomes in Israel. That's why sexual intercourse is also spiritual. That's why at the Light of Zion, we advise our brothers and sisters, before they do anything with one another, they have to see the elders and go through counsel. Let's see what God says. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17.
Now we are in the book of Deuteronomy 23, verse 17. Let's see what God comments us in the book of Deuteronomy 23, 17. Read.
Therefore, there shall be no whore.
Read it again.
There shall be no whore.
God says, there shall be no whore. My brother, what is the meaning of the word whore?
Like a female who sleeps with anybody, any and everybody, when and whenever.
Of course, the same thing. A whoremonger is a man who is sleeping around. Let's see what God says. Read. There shall be no whore. Read.
Here's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17.
Read.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Meaning, my brother, that's why we advise brothers, if you see a sister that you that you love, you have to see the elders and then talk to her, because once he sleeps with her, he has to take her as his wife.
Okay. Okay, so like what I'm trying to figure out though, so like basically like since I didn't get the approval from her father or her mother, she, even though we got married, our marriage really ain't real.
No bother. Let's see something very quick. Give me the book of
Yeah, I got you.
at that time Acts
Hebrews?
chapter 17.
Okay. I want to go to
Acts
Hebrews.
17 and verse verse 26.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 26.
Yeah.
And had made of one blood of all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth.
Yep, read.
And had determined the times before appointed and the bonds of their habitations.
Verse 30 now.
Verse 30. And the times of this ignorance.
But at that time, you and your wife, you guys were ignorant. Read.
Yahweh winked at.
God winked at. Read.
But now commanded all men everywhere to repent.
To repent. So my brother, guess what? At that time you didn't know. But now you know, my brother. So now you know, as a result, you are going to teach other brothers not to do, that before they do that, they have to get the approval of the father, even before they even sleep with the woman.
Okay.
And we all know that in this kingdom, they say that somebody becomes an adult at the age 18, at the age of 18, correct?
Well, I ain't hear you, bro.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that, in this kingdom, once a person which is the age of 18, they say that he or she can do anything without the father's approval, correct?
Yeah.
So now, we are Israelites. Now we are in the truth.
I got a precept.
So therefore, we are going to apply the laws of God. So my brother, you didn't know back then. Now, brother, listen. Live your life with your wife in God through Christ, plain and simple.
Okay. So basically, I'm not married right now because now that I'm in the truth, when I did it in ignorance, I didn't know better. But now that I know, basically, I'm not married, even though I thought I was.
Brother, you are married, brother. You are still married, brother.
Huh?
You are still married, brother. Read Acts 17 again for my brother. Acts 17, verse 30. Because my brother, guess what? You and your wife, you guys are still together, are you not?
Yeah.
Of course, brother. Guess what? You have to understand, in America, only 1 in every 4 black women will get married. One way or another. Read.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 30. At the times of his ignorance, God winked at.
God winked at means that God didn't punish you back then. Read.
But now commanded all men everywhere to repent.
To repent, brother. Brother, guess what? At that time, she was already an adult, correct?
Yeah.
So basically, pretty much, she was of age.
Yeah, she her age. No, I ain't. Yeah, she well above the age.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, brother. Wait, brother. Listen, brother. Everything is fine, my brother. Live your life with your wife, man. You see now, brother. Now I have to advise you, brother. That's why you cannot listen to anybody online, brother.
Yeah, that's why, I've been in the truth for like a year, bro, and it's certain because I started reading my Bible once I came in the truth. I started seeing stuff, and the certain camp I'm talking about, it's like they different from everybody else that I've been watching, and I just needed some clarification on this because I'm like, a class I've seen, it wasn't making no sense. It basically was like saying, from what I took from it was saying basically, since I ain't get the approval from her mama or her daddy, the marriage basically is fake. So basically, I'm trying to figure out, like, am I married or am I not? So can I go find another wife or not? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Brother, you are still married, my brother. You are still married, my brother. Guess what, brother? You are still married, and you have to understand, brother, this is nothing but Satan trying to put some seed of, I would say, of unbelief in your mind.
Okay.
Let's say something very quick. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 3 concerning
I'm trying to find it.
verse 3.
Oh, First Timothy, sorry.
2 Timothy chapter 3.
Second Timothy?
Yep.
Next page over.
Yeah, let's see what we have for you both.
Second Timothy 3.
Yeah.
Verse 1?
Yeah, start verse 1.
This book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1.
Read.
Now,
brother, I want you to listen clearly and carefully. Brother, do you have your Bible with you?
No, it's on my phone.
Okay, all right. Next time, my brother, have your Bible, because here's what happened. When you have your Bible with you, you will be able to see if we are lying or not. Let's see what God says. 2 Timothy.
He's over here, sir.
2 Timothy chapter 3. That's what
This
God
book
says.
of 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1.
Read.
This know also, but in the last days,
know also, my brother, in the last days, we are in the last days. Read.
Perilous times shall come.
Perilous times shall come. Now you can see that with this CV-19, many of our sisters that had this garbage called independent black women, the black queen, this nonsense, many of them, they had to fight for bathroom tissues. Read.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
You will see a bunch of brothers, men, they love themselves. And as a result, what will they do? Read.
Covetous.
Yep.
Boasters.
Boasters, read.
Proud.
Read.
Blasphemers.
Read.
Disobedient to parents.
Read.
Unthankful.
Read.
Unholy.
Read.
Without natural affection.
Read.
Truce breakers.
Yep.
False accusers.
Yep.
Incontinent.
Yep.
Fierce.
Read.
Despisers of those that are good.
Yep. So my brother, you will see people that despise you for doing good things. Read.
Traitors.
Yep.
Heady.
Yep.
High-minded. Lovers of pleasures.
Lovers of pleasures. Read.
More than the lovers of the Most High.
More than lovers of the Most High. So my brother, you have to understand, brother, you are still married, my brother.
Okay.
Don't try to deviate, brother. You are in the truth. That's why, my brother, you have to listen to people who are keepers of God's laws. Is there more in that?
Yeah, like you know, I listen to y'all. I follow Sons of Thunder and different other camps, but I'm just gonna be blanket. Like me and my wife, we beefing like a motherfucker now, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the camp she follows IUIC, bro. And like we beefing worse than ever. She keeping my kids away from me and everything because of the stuff that they teach. And then I listen to it, and I'm trying to figure out like what she taking from, and it's just a big mess, bro. Like, so I stopped listening to them, but I go to watch a class yesterday, you know, and I heard what I heard. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I know I just can't put her away because I'm going through something heavy with her right now, and I'm just getting tired of it. She trying to keep my kids away from me and everything. We just beefed out. But what I heard yesterday, I'm trying to figure out, like, can I just go ahead and put her away and just go try to find another rib to help me raise my kids? Because she ain't trying to do Matthew 18. She ain't trying to do none of that because of the camp she following, you know. And I mean, I ain't trying to talk bad on another camp, but that dude Asaph, she sits up and she watches this faithfully. You know what I'm saying? And what I feel like they teach separation from within the Israelite community. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand we ain't supposed to be united with the heathen, but when it comes to separating within the Israelite, the people that's in Israel, then that's where the problem come at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is best for a couple to be in the same congregation. Sometimes when the husband is part of another school, is part of one school, and the wife is part of another school, oftentimes there may be problems. But my brother, pretty much, she's part of another school, isn't she?
Well, I didn't hear you, bro.
Yeah. Is she part of another school?
No, we just came into this truth like last year around April.
Okay.
but she follows IUIC on the camp she look at is IUIC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So put
Like-
so go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, like the camp that brought, well, ain't no camp really bring me in. What brought me in, the truth was like, when I seen a post about Hitler saying the real Jews, that America got Jews and the real Jews is black and stuff. That's what made me do the research. And then when I did the research, the first camp I came across was AOC of New York. And then later on, you know, a couple weeks down the line, I started watching IUIC, and then I started watching other camps and stuff, and I started seeing other camps that I agreed with, and I felt like was a better fit to me. So I ain't really been following IUIC as strong, but she found IUIC, and she feels that's the camp for her.
Well, when it comes to camps, Isaiah 52 verse 8. When it comes to camps, when it comes to different Israelite congregations, let's see what God says. He said that the mic is low. Can you put the mic, both mics there? Read.
This book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 8.
Read.
Thy watchmen shall lift up their voice.
Read.
With the voice together shall they sing.
My brother, when Christ comes back, all the camps will see eye to eye. For now, all the camps will not be in one accord. But when Christ comes back, all the camps will be in one accord. So my brother, pretty much keep learning, my brother. Keep learning. Do not let anything deter you from the truth.
Seeking your own salvation.
Yeah, let's see what God says. Give me Philippians 2 verse 12. Yeah, my brother, one thing you can do, brother, try to stay away from camps that pretty much in fact, hold that Romans 8 verse 16.
Romans 8:16.
Yeah, my brother, let's see what God says. Romans chapter 8 and verse 16.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 16.
Yeah.
The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirits that we are the children of the Most High.
But all of the camps, we all belong to the Most High. So now, my brother, it is up to you. If your spirit bears witness with one camp, you stay with that camp. Plain and simple. Yeah, my brother, do you have any more questions?
No, that's it, bro.
Yep. Yeah, my brother, also one more thing. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. My brother, when it comes, as you are in the truth, my brother, you will hear a bunch of doctrines. Doctrine from Mississippi all the way to Washington, D.C. That's what God says. First Timothy 4 verse 1.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1.
Read.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, for in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
Many of our people will leave the faith. Read.
Giving heed to seducing spirits.
They will listen to seducing spirit telling them that, oh, you are a black woman, you are a god. Hey, you are a man, you can do whatever you want. Read.
And doctrines of devils.
And doctrines of devils. So my brother, you will hear a bunch of doctrines. That's why we advise you, if you find a camp that your spirit pretty much aligns with, stick with that camp.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother, because you have to understand, my brother, you are new in the truth. 1 Peter 2 verse 2. You are new in the truth. That's what God says. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. My brother, do not let anything discourage you, my brother. It is like a test of your faith. Because my brother, for you to walk as a baby, you have to crawl first. And after crawling, guess what? Your body will be strong enough for your feet to touch the ground. It is a step-by-step process. Let's see what God says.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2.
Yeah.
As newborn babes.
As newborn babes, as somebody who is new in the truth, read.
Desire the sincere milk of the word.
The sincere milk of the word is nothing but the laws. Try learning the laws. Learn them, put them into application, and have faith in Christ. And little by little, my brother, you will be strong. For now, my brother, if a camp is teaching something that you sense that is not biblical, stay away from that camp for now. Because you are a newborn babe.
Okay.
Any more questions, my brother?
No, that's it, bro.
Well, where are you calling us from, brother? What state are you in?
I'm in Detroit, bro.
Well, my brother, you are in Detroit. If you see some brothers in Detroit that your spirit aligns with, get with them.
Yeah, I called last time. The brother told me it was a camp called man. He told me it was another camp out here.
Yeah.
I was gonna look them up and try to join them because the only camp I know out here is IUIC, and I don't want to. I'm not, trying to down talk another camp, bro, because we all in the same truth. But I just don't want to join in with that camp. I'm trying to find another camp to join in, but that's the only camp I know of out here is IUIC.
Well, that's why we say. Sorry, my brother. Go ahead, Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, but a brother from I just called in probably like last week or something. He told me it was another camp. I was gonna call them, try to figure out like how I end up joining them and stuff once I get my stuff together, whatever, to try to join them. So I know it's a different camp out here. So that's the camp I'm trying to join up with.
Well, my brother, search in your area, and if there is any camp that your spirit pretty much is in cohesion with, get with those brothers. Don't be by yourself. He's in Detroit. So pretty much what we're gonna do is that you know my brother is what we're gonna do. Put the phone number for the school the 754.
I'm on guy's number last time we called in.
Yeah. Put the phone number for the school. Call this number, and this Tuesday we will do the search for you, and we will advise you. Will suggest other schools that are in your area. Your job is to test them and see if their spirit is in league with your spirit. If your spirit is in league with their spirit, be with them. If not, find another camp, brother. Don't be by yourself, my brother. Don't be by yourself, because when you are with brothers, guess what? You will learn from them, and from them you will get some strength. My brother,
for sure.
Don't feel discouraged, my brother. You are in the truth. Do not let anything bother you. Understand that you are new in the truth, and as you are new, you will find some tests on the road. Your aim is to overcome those tests, meaning that you have to pass them. Plain and simple. But for our people to go to the land of Canaan, we have to go through the wilderness. Brother, nothing is easy, my brother. This walk is not an easy walk. That's why you need the support of other brothers to help you when your spirit is low. Brother, our phone line is open for you, brother. Call us, my brother. You have our phone number. Call us and talk to us. Don't be by yourself, brother, in this walk. Do not let, in fact, go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 14. Don't let every wind of doctrine, brother, take you away, my brother. No. Ephesians chapter 4 and 14. Let's see what God says through Christ to us. Ephesians 4 and verse 14.
It's the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 14.
Read.
That we henceforth be no more children,
Read.
Tossed to and fro.
Tossed to and fro. Read.
And carried away about with every wind of doctrine.
So my brother, when you are following different camps, oftentimes you get tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. That's why we advise you to watch a camp that your spirit feels good with, and as you become stronger, you'll be able to see what is going on and make up your mind.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 9.
Do you have any? Yeah, let's get that for my brother. One last scripture, scripture, my brother. Read.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9.
Read.
Two are better than one.
Two are better than one. Read.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Yeah.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
So my brother, if you find other brothers that your spirit is in league with, if you are in a low spirit, the Most High can use them through Christ to make you stronger. My brother, do you have any more questions?
No, that's it, bro. Thanks, though.
My brother, it is always a pleasure to talk to you. As you already know, we are a family. By the way, we are going to have our Passover very soon. I would like to see you, my brother.
All right, for sure, bro. Ain't y'all in Miami or something, like in Florida or something?
Yeah, we are.
Y'all don't have no.
Sorry, my brother. Go ahead, my brother. What did you say?
No, y'all don't have no camp. Y'all don't have no camp near Detroit or something.
Not yet. We have no LOZ congregation in Detroit yet. You never know. You may be the one starting LOZ in Detroit.
Very true.
You never know, my brother. You may be the one starting the Light of Zion in Detroit. You never know, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother. Yep. My brother, guess what? Soon we will announce the date for our Passover. My brother, I would love to see you, my brother. For you to be with the family, eat the lamb together, eat the bitter herbs together, talk with one another. My brother, you are part of the family. You are our relative. You are our family, my brother.
All right, for sure, bro.
Well, brother, today is January 31st. My
Yeah.
brother, the Passover will be very soon, brother. I would like to see you, my brother.
For sure, bro.
If you buy your ticket early, my brother, guess what? You can get it at a cheaper price, and before you know it, you'll be in the classroom talking to us, my brother. Well, my brother, it was a pleasure talking to you, brother. Stay safe. Don't be discouraged. You are in the truth.
All right, bro. Thanks, my man.
My brother, nice talking to you, brother. Shalom. Have a good night, my brother.
All right, for sure, bro. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yo.
All right, bye-bye. Have a good day, my brother. The line is still open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. The line is still open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 12. We are the real Jews. We are the people of God. The number to call is 954-526-5299. 954-526-5299. Read.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 12.
Read.
Be continually with a godly man.
The Bible says we have to be all the time with men that are keeping God's laws. Read.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Most High.
So as Israelites, we must strive to be among people who are applicants of the laws of God. If somebody says that he's an applicant, he's a lover of God's laws, he must apply these laws in his life. Psalm 119 verse 1. In fact, Psalm 1 verse 1. Let's see what God says in Psalm chapter 1 verse 1. Because we are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of. The more we get together, the better it is. We must strive to spend more times with one another. To spend more time with one another. Let's see what God says in the book of Psalm chapter 1 and verse 1. Read.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 1 verse 1.
Read.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Yep, read.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Yep.
Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Yep.
But his delight is in the law of the Most High.
But his delight is in the law of the Most High. Well, my brother Richard Borentus, you already know, my brother. You already know that you are invited. Here's what happened. We have yet to make the official announcement. But my brother, you already know. I have your email address. What we are trying to do now is having everything in order so we can send the invitation to our people all together. In fact, let me start it today. All of you who are online listening, watching the class, you are invited to the Passover.
That's right.
We will give you all the information once they are available. But starting today, know that all of you that are watching LOZ, You are part of the family. And we invite all of you to the Passover. You are part of the family. We all love you. You know that when you come here, you will have the front seat because you are part of the family. We love all of you. Sister Bettina, Brother Morentus, Sister El, Sister Maria, Brother Yakanan, all of the family, everybody, Brother Morentus, all the family, you are all invited. I will have the dates for you once I have them, so you can ask for your days off, and to see you in Florida, so you can enjoy the sun that we have in the Sunshine State here. Read it again.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
Blessed is the man that walketh not
Read.
in the counsel of the ungodly,
Read.
nor standeth in the way of sinners,
But he does what?
nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Read.
But his
What?
delight
What his delight, read,
is in the law of the Most High.
is in the laws of God. As Israelites, it should be our delight to meditate over the laws of God, such as don't eat pork, don't eat shrimp, don't eat lobster, don't be envious of your brother or sister. Read.
And in the law, though he meditate day and night.
Day and night. Why? Joshua 1 verse 8. When we meditate over the laws of God, what will this do for us? The line is still open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. All of you who are listening, all of you who are watching right now, you are all invited to the Passover. We will have the dates, we will have the opening and the closing. If you cannot make it to the opening, be at the closing. Remember, we are a family. At the Light of Zion, we are a loving and caring family. Brother Morentus, you know you are part of the family. Sister Maria L, you are part of the family. Sister Deborah, you are part of the family. Sister Bettina, you are part of the family. Brother Andy Jack, you are part of the family. All of you. Brother Yakanan, you are part of the family. Brother Lionheart, Lionheart, you, all of you, the entire family, you are all invited. Read.
This the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8.
Read.
This book of the law,
this book of the law, this Bible, read,
shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Read.
But thou shalt meditate therein, and day and night.
Now, when we meditate in the laws of God, day and night, meaning continually, what will happen to us? Read.
But thou mayest observe to do all according to what is written therein.
So we can apply the laws of God in our life as they are written. Read.
For then,
once we do that, once we put the laws of God into application in our life, read.
Thou shalt make thy ways prosperous.
What will God do to us?
Thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
God will make us prosperous. Read.
And then thou shalt have good success.
For us, and guess what? We will have success in our enterprises. It is what it is. We cannot change it. The line is still open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. 954-526-5299. We have 15 more minutes left. The number to call is 954-526-5299. 954-526-5299. You have any precept, officer?
I think so.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 37, verse 4.
Read.
Delight thyself also in the...
Psalm, read.
Yeah, that's what I said, sir. This book of Psalm, chapter 37, verse 4.
Read.
Delight thyself also in the Most High, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Most High.
Read.
Trust also in him,
Yep.
and he shall bring it to pass.
Yep. So we have to put our trust in the Most High through Hamashiach. Why?
That's what I was looking for.
Because Hamashiach is the gateway. For us to have access to the Most High, we have to go through Hamashiach. The number to call is 954-526-5299. 954-526-5299. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for watching. As you already know, we are your servants.
I found it.
We love you. We are your servants and we love you. Read.
I'm going to get like 119 and 105.
That's what God says. Psalm 119 verse 104. Because once you put the laws of God into application, let's see what will happen to us. Let's see what kind of wisdom we will have. Read.
It's the book of Psalm 119 verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way.
What is Christianity?
I hate every false way.
What is Islam?
False way.
What is Catholicism?
Every false way.
Every false way.
I got one more.
So when you are in the truth, you are not in a false way. Read.
Verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
Read.
And a light unto my path.
So the word of God is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.
So that we won't be stuck in the darkness because He gave us the light.
Of course.
So we'll know where we're going.
Of course. So guess what? When we keep God's laws, we will learn from God. Will teach us His ways. When we keep God's laws, we will know that we should not hate our brother in our heart.
It's not a precept.
Read.
Psalm 119, verse 133. Order my steps in thy word. And let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
And let not any iniquity have dominion over us.
That's a post precept right there.
So that is a good thing. When we learn the laws of God, we put them into application. Guess what? The Most High will open our eyes and give us the strength to stay away from sin. The line is still open. The number to call is 954-526-5299. 954-526-5299. There is a video of a sister twerking on the steps of the Capitol building. I would like you to play that video for a moment, so we can not too much. Don't play it, but just show what was going on.
This is what our people, the folly our people do, man.
You will see the folly of our people, and also there's a video of a sister that some brothers beat up in New York. I want a part of that video too. This is what happened when we don't follow the laws of God. We don't see Hamashiach as the one guiding us. Guess what? These things will happen to us.
So, for what you just said just now about the woman, which is the next precept, deliver me from the oppression of man, so I will keep thy precepts. Is it Psalm 119, 134?
Yeah, hold on.
Let's keep coming.
Hold on. You have to understand, when we stray away from the laws, guess what? We open ourselves for the evil spirits to come on us. Let's see what happened. Which one do you have available? Yeah, pretty much. Is it that racy? All right. No, a woman that was a sister that was twerking on MLK Day. Yeah, on MLK Day. You will see what happened to our people. I just want just.
I'll make sure it's the right one.
That's it.
Just put twerking for MLK.
Don't play the video. Just you will see the thumbnail.
Black Lives Matter.
Put the thumbnail. That's it.
Black Lives Matter did it again, y'all. So I'm gonna show you. Oh, I had a good laugh.
To strike the channel. Just put the thumbnail. That's it. Yeah, or play it a little bit so we can just see the thumbnail. Yeah, put the cursor.
I had a great.
Put the cursor. Yeah, the one. Put the cursor on here so we can pretty much see.
Yeah, scroll through it.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Just like what's going on?
Yeah, leave it like this one. This one
people
is fun. This one is fun.
Stupid, man.
Now this is a sister who was twerking for freedom on MLK Day. She was twerking for freedom. Now guess what?
You got a precept for that one.
No. Hold on. Now she was twerking. Black Lives MLK BLM. Now that sister was twerking for freedom on MLK Day. Why is that in the Bible? This is what happened with our people.
I know where it is.
When we refuse to keep God's laws, anybody can use us for anything. That's why we always advise brothers and sisters to come into the truth. Hold that. Give me the book of Romans chapter 14, verse 15.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why at the light of Zion, you will see us in the streets teaching our people. Read.
14, 15?
How can they hear without a preacher?
You said Romans?
Mm-hmm. How can they hear without a preacher? When we refuse to keep God's laws, guess what? We open ourselves. Anybody can use us. Anybody can do whatever they want to us because we stay away from the laws of God. Because we refuse to keep God's laws, guess what? Anything will happen to us.
10,
anybody will use us.
I got
Read.
it. It's the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 14.
Read.
How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed?
Read.
And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard?
Mm-hmm.
And how shall they hear without a preacher?
A preacher means that for our people to know that we are not put to work on MLK Day, working for freedom, we have to be in the streets. Read Romans 10 verse 14 again, my brother.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 14.
Read.
How then shall they call on him
Yep.
in whom they have not believed?
Read.
How shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
Read.
How shall they hear without a preacher?
How shall they hear without a preacher? Meaning we have to go there. We have to go and teach them. 1 Corinthians 9 verse 16. You brothers who are in the truth, who are teaching, this is a grace from the Most High through a Mashiach.
No.
You have to take this seriously. 1 Corinthians 9 verse 16.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16.
Read.
For though I preach the gospel,
Read.
I have nothing of glory.
So it is not for us to glorify ourselves. Why? Read.
For necessity is laid upon me.
So it is a necessity. God commands us to do that. Read.
Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel.
So if we that are called to do this job don't do it, guess what? Evil things will come on our ways. That's why you will see us in the streets teaching the people. You will see us in the byway and hedges, telling in the byways and hedges, telling our people that it is not good to work on MLK Day.
I got a precept.
Play that a tiny bit of what the sister was saying.
Years ago, I'm just like, what's going on here?
That's fine. That's fine. So you see, brothers and sisters, that's what God says we have to be in the highways and hedges to teach them. Luke 14:23. Let's see what God says again. Through Christ, we have to bring the people in. For our sisters not to work in the streets, not to work for freedom on MLK Day. Read.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 23.
Read.
And the Lord said unto the servants,
Read.
Go out into the highways.
What does God say?
Go out into the highways.
God says, go into the highways, read.
And hedges.
And hedges, read.
And compel them.
And compel them, mean that we have to bring them in. Whether they want it or not, we have to force them to come in.
Con.
That's why you see when we are in the streets, we teach with power. Because we have to compel them to come in. Now give me the one where the brothers beat that sister up in New York.
Go on, it's on Sejihito's, his newest video. You can watch there.
It is not a game. The hatred between black men and black
So I
women
read
in America is real. Leviticus 19 verse 17.
Oh. You know, get that precept, huh?
Leviticus 19 verse 17. Let's see what God says. Leviticus 19 verse 17. We have hatred one for another. In America, black men and black women, they are enemies. People will say, this is the effects of the village. Yeah, it is.
The first one right there.
But guess what? Now we are in the truth. We must stop the hatred that we have one for another. Let's see what happened in New York last week, correct? Let's play.
How you doing? This is Sejihito. I know it's been a long time, guys. do that, maul me the way that he did, with me screaming and saying that I'm just trying to get my daughter, that.
Her eye out. Others kicked her. To her across the street, kicking her, and one man actually bit her forehead, leaving deep wounds. When two men walked in the shop on West 128th Street and St. Nick Monday, the 31-year-old mother says she was
till now. A brutal attack in Harlem on a woman who was just trying to buy a bottle of wine.
She says that it happened after she turned down one man's offer to pay for her. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner spoke exclusively with the victim.
Surveillance video shows a group outside this liquor store as a woman walks in alone just before 6 p.m. Monday. The 31-year-old mother says she was buying a...
She was alone and she is a mother. They say 30-year-old woman alone. Now, I listened to, they never mentioned if she is a wife or not. Many of you sisters, you think, oh, I can do all by myself, or I can do all bad by myself. I'm an independent woman. No. You have to understand, many of the brothers that you sisters raised up, they are the ones now out there to killing you. Isaiah 3 verse 12. Yeah. It is not a game. That's why at the Light of Zion, we encourage families, mother and father. All those single family households, these brothers now, they are the ones in the streets acting like that because they had no father figure in their life. Many of you sisters, you are reproducing with men that are not, that have no father instinct, that have no father in them. How can you reproduce with a man who does not want to be a father? How can you reproduce with a man who does not want to be a father? How can you reproduce with a man who does not want to be a father? It makes no sense. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
Read.
As for my people,
God says, as for his people, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, so-called Haitians, read.
Children are their oppressors.
Read.
And women.
What does God say?
Children are their oppressors.
Children are our oppressors. Read.
And women rule over them.
Many of these sisters, they were raised with no father in the house. Many of your sisters, you are reproducing with men who have no intention to be fathers. Play the video, my brother.
A bottle of wine after work when two men walked in the shop on West 128th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. She says the man in the red offered to pay.
I politely declined and I said, no thank you, but thank you. Could pay for it myself. And I got ready to walk out. And before I walk out, he basically said that he felt like I thought that I was better than them.
The men followed her out, she says, asking what did she want to do about it.
I just asked them, I said, you're seriously trying to fight me? I'm trying to go about my business.
She says they chased her across the street, kicking her, and one man actually bit her forehead, leaving deep wounds. She says he tried to bite her eye out. Others kicked her.
To bite me and do that, maul me the way that he did, with me screaming and saying that I'm just trying to get my daughter, that's an animal. That's not a person.
Witnesses tell me multiple people called 911. The woman was taken to NYC Health and Hospitals Harlem in stable condition. During the attack, she says her iPhone fell on the ground, and when she went to grab it,
he pried the phone out my hand. He's like, give me your phone.
She says afterwards someone told her to run because one of the men had done this to someone else before and could come back. The woman, who has not been able to open one eye, says the suspects need to be caught immediately so other people going about their day don't fall prey. In Harlem, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
And police say they are looking for...
Now give me the one where the football player, Wheeler...
Oh, God.
Give me this one.
It's on here also. It's on the same website.
Now we have to understand. Give me Zephaniah 2 verse 1. We, at the Light of Zion, we always advise brothers and sisters to love one another. We are teaching the laws of God to our people. Let's see what God says. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. That's why we advise brothers and sisters, if you see a camp that your spirit goes along with, become a member. Don't be by yourself. Zephaniah 2 verse 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Read.
Gather yourselves together.
What does God say?
Gather yourselves together.
God says we have to get together, gather ourselves together. I want the part where I want this one. That's good. Now this is the sister. She's with, what is his name? Jack Wheeler, right?
I don't know his name.
His name is Wheeler. Chad. Okay, Chad Wheeler. All right, Chad Wheeler. So now this is that sister. No, leave it where it is, my brother. Hold on, yeah. She is with him.
Was.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are together. That's him. He's an Edomite. That's her. She's an Israelite. Now, move along. Do you have the part where her eyes are? Okay, now that's fine. Yeah. Now, you can see this is the result. The same way you see brothers, they are into interracial relationships. Bad things happen to them too. Listen, if we don't want to keep God's laws, guess what? The curses of the book of Deuteronomy 28, they will cleave unto us.
He's still gonna be playing. They haven't, the NFL hasn't done anything to him.
Well, listen, whatever they do, listen, you have to understand, this is mainly for us as Israelites to learn from. That's why I brought the first one first. Because there is a hatred between black men and black women in America. We don't want to be with one another. Guess what? God will force us to be with one another. Zephaniah 2 verse 1 again, my brother.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Read.
Gather yourselves together.
God says we have to get together. Read.
O nation not desired.
What does God say, brother?
O nation not desired.
No, read what you see. It says nations.
No, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. We are the nation that is not desired. Therefore, we must stop hating one another. We must stop hating one another. I know many of you sisters, you are into swirling. Many of you brothers, you love the Asian persuasion. That's it. Listen, it's up to you. But at the Light of Zion, we are going to keep God's laws. We will do what God says God commands us to do. Let's see what God commands us to do. The book of Deuteronomy 7 verse 1. Let's see what God says. Because the Bible says, let God be true, but every man a liar. Let's see what God commands us to do. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1. When the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and had cast down many nations before thee, for Hittites, and the Gershites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites.
So these were nations that inhabited the land of Canaan. Read.
And the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Read.
And when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Read. So God commanded us not to make any covenant, any marriages with these other nations. Read.
Nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
So God commanded us not to make any marriages with non-Israelites. But no, we don't want this. We have to be with the snow bunny. We want the Asian persuasion. We want pretty much the African taste. Guess what? As a result, now we are suffering. Let's see that same thing again. Go to the book of 1 Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 69. That's the way we are always. We have been like that for the longest. Since the birth of our nation, we have been like that. 1 Esdras chapter 8 verse 69. Let's see what God says. Because for you see now, didn't she fall unconsciously? Something happened. Now look at that sister now. Look at her now. And guess what? These things, they are happening to our brothers and sisters. All this because we refuse to put the laws of God into application. Plain and simple. Read.
Here's the book of 1 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 69.
Read.
For the nation of Israel, the princes and the priests and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the populations of the Gentiles, to wit,
Yeah.
of the Canaanites.
So we made marriages with the Canaanites, Africans with
the Hittites,
Africans, yeah.
the
Perizzites,
Perizzites,
yeah. Read.
The Jebusites,
Africans with
the Moabites,
Chinese with
the Egyptians
with Africans,
and the Edomites.
So-called white folks. Guess what? We don't want to keep God's laws. Guess what? God will stir their spirit to beat us up, plain and simple. The line is still open. We have 2 more minutes left. The number to call is 954-526-5299. Go back to the chat. Thank you very much for watching. Hebrews 10 verse 39. Hebrews 10 verse 39. Remember, at the light of Zion, we are your servants. We love you. We are here to serve you. Our aim is for all Israel to wake up, wherever they are, by any lawful and legal means necessary. Hebrews 10 verse 39.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 39.
Read.
But we
on the way.
are not of them who draw back unto perdition,
Read.
but of them that believe to the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Officer Tazalak Banloya.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Officer Abidan.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Sister Mariah Magdala Nawan Khan.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of the entire family we have in Lee County.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of brother or sister Shayalash.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Officer
Oh, that's the boxer. That's the young guy.
Yeah, Officer
Akol.
Officer Akol. Yeah. To the saving of the soul of Officer Bonakad.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Officer Maganyala Judah Israel.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Brother Aoud Jin.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Brother Oliver LJ.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of our dear brother Richard Morentus.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of Sister M.M. Isolite.
To the saving of the soul.
Brother Richard Morentus, thank you, my brother. Thank you very much, my brother. To the saving of the soul of Brother Andy Jack.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of the nation of Israel.
To the saving of the soul.
To the saving of the soul of all Israelites, wherever they are, by any lawful and legal means necessary. Shalom Yashurallah. Thank you very much for watching. To the saving of the soul of Sister Deborah Dennis from Massachusetts. Well, my sister, you already know, you are also invited to the Passover. This invitation is to the entire family. My sister, my sisters and brothers, you are all invited to the Passover.
Bring chairs.
We will give you the dates for the opening and the closing. Therefore, if you cannot make it for the opening, be at the closing. Remember, you are all part of the family. We would like to see you in South Florida. You are our family. You are our relatives. We love you all. Psalm 133. We are your servants. We are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of. At Manyam Wapanya Yerushalayim. Stand up and face the east. Shoya, Ama Aiwa, Ladawad, Ana, Ma, Tawab, Wama, Nayam, Shabbath, Akyam, Gam, Yakad, Kashaman, Hatawab, Ail, Haraash, Yerad, Ail, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aharon, Shayarad, Ail, Paya, Madawatyawa, Katol, Kawamwan, Shayarad, Ail, Hara'ah, Kazayawan, Kaya, Shem, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Abaraka, Kayayam, Aid, Iwulam, Bahashem, Amashiach, Yahawashai, Thawada, Thamyad, Aman. Someone 33 in English.
That's the book of Psalms, chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of Hermon, as the dew that descended upon Mount Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Bahashem, Hamashek Yahushai, Tawada Tamyad, Aman.
Amen. Shalom, Israel. It was a pleasure. You are all invited to the Passover. We will have the closing and the opening. Brothers and sisters, if you cannot make it for the opening, be at the closing. As you already know, we are your servants. We belong to you. We are here to serve you in the Most High through HaMashiach. Know that for us to come to the Father, we have to go through Christ. For us to come to God, we have to use the gate. The gate is Christ. The gate is HaMashiach. Shalom. All of you are invited to the Passover. Next week, we will have the dates for you so you can request your day offs